What's up, YouTube? We're back on another video. Now, I've been studying a lot about Mariana Trench. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's the most deepest ocean in the world, and it's completely dark. So, I do want to know why scientists won't go inside there. I know there's like a lot of pressure in the components, but we're gonna see what this video is about. And hope you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video. And would you visit the Mariana Trench? I know. I'm not sure. I mean, it's scary because it's a whole nother world. You get lost and it's completely dark. You can't see a thing. Yeah.
Mud. Among the species, the Mariana snailfish looks like a master of the environment that can go farther and deeper into the trench to feed on prey than its competitors. Despite its seemingly fragile appearance, the snailfish has adapted to withstand extreme pressures, a superpower it wouldn't be able to survive without. The exotic life forms that live deep down aren't normal size, since deep-sea gigantism makes them grow significantly larger than their counterparts in other ecosystems. One example is the giant tube worm, which can be 6 feet long. Science has a hard time explaining the exact cause of this form of gigantism. Thermal vents are just one of the possible explanations. All of these factors might help explain the huge time gap in researching the Mariana Trench. The first successful dive after the 1960 expedition came only in 2012. That's when the famous Canadian film director James Cameron went down in the Deep-Sea Challenger. Because few scientists have gone that deep before or after Cameron, there is no map of the deepest point on our planet. We know very little about the oceans that cover 2/3 of the Earth's surface. Researchers have mapped out only 5% of them so far. Science still has a lot to discover in the Mariana Trench and other
5%, that's like, damn, it's not enough time to like explore. Like, that's crazy.
Unexplored places on our planet. The Amazon rainforest stands as the best example of the world's most unexplored regions. The list of reasons why this part of South America is unknown starts with its wildlife: jaguars, anacondas, piranhas, black caimans, and Brazilian wandering spiders are just some of the creatures that pose a risk for researchers. Relentless year-round rainfall induces heavy flooding. Add to all this some treacherous river currents, and you can see why scientists have mapped such a small percentage of the Amazon to date. In just one region of Brazil, near Peru, there are at least 14 tribes that have never had contact with the outside world.
14.
The national authorities intend to keep it that way. Isolation of these indigenous people is the best way to protect their future. The same goes for a remote island in the Indian Ocean. After the tragic tsunami of 2004, helicopters flew over North Sentinel Island to make sure its inhabitants were alive and well. Meanwhile, the Sentinelese weren't thrilled. They took up bows and arrows to drive away the unwanted visitors. This tribe is one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. Although anthropologists and filmmakers visited the island in the late 1960s, we still don't know much about its indigenous population. It sits a long way off any shipping lanes in the Bay of Bengal. North Sentinel has no natural harbor, and it's surrounded by a shallow reef. This makes access to the island possible only by boat. The Indian officials who lay claim to the island have prohibited outsiders from visiting the island for safety reasons. The estimates on how many people inhabit the island...
You know, speaking about visiting these islands, there's a lot of people. I did some research as people who visit the island, which is a kind of bad idea. I don't know what's their intentions, but if there are tribes that are very far from society, and I just wouldn't visit there because you don't know what their intentions are. It is scary. You might just leave them alone. That's the only thing. They just living in a perfect world. I mean, they just living rent free, building fort houses and surviving food, and man, I wouldn't visit these tribes. Just leave them alone. Let them just live their own world.
Island very significantly. from as few as 15 to as many as 500. The island is not tiny. It's about 5 times as big as London's Heathrow Airport. Apart from occasional contact during the past 2 centuries, the Sentinelese must have been isolated for a long time. They are related to other indigenous groups in the Andaman Islands, but their neighbors cannot understand a word of their language. The continent of Antarctica has no permanent human settlements at all. The only people who periodically live there are international scientists. This vast expanse of ice and snow, roughly the size of the United States and Mexico combined, still has many regions where humans haven't set foot. Satellite imagery and photos that NASA's aircraft made from the air have mapped out the entire continent. So we know where to go, but it's not that easy. The reason for this are all the adjectives that go with Antarctica.
Look at that pressure.
It is the coldest,
no joke.
windiest, driest, and brightest of the 7 continents. This makes it virtually unlivable. More than 99% of its surface is covered with a permanent sheet of ice. Its thickness ranges from 1 mile to as many as 3 miles in some places. That's half the height of Mount Everest. Now, the Himalayan range contains the world's tallest unclimbed mountain. It is also the tallest mountain in Bhutan. In the local language, the mountain's name translates as White Peak of the 3 spiritual brothers. Out of respect for the spiritual beliefs of the local population, national authorities restricted and then completely banned mountaineering at the beginning of the 21st century. To this day, there is no evidence that any climber has ever managed to successfully reach the summit of this mysterious mountain. That's it for today. So hey,
yeah, let me know what you think about this. This is interesting facts, you know, and I think about Antarctica. We all have questions. I mean, I do know that it was another world and it was just a regular, just before the ice came in. You know, if the humanity wiped out Antarctica during the dinosaurs extinct, why not bother just finding out why Antarctica still exists like that? You know, I'm sure there's another world that's beneath the ice, same as the ocean. But yeah, hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to see more videos, I'll get into videos. See you guys, and see you in the next video.